Hello my fireflies and welcome back to the TheCyanFirefly. It's me, Lyiat, and today we're going to take a little look over at Tower Wars, a fun little tower defense kind of game by Supervillain Studios. I hesitate to call it a tower defense game because it's not just tower defense, it's also the other side of the coin in which you send units at the enemy team. It's kind of hard to explain without actually demonstrating it to you. Now, the entire thing is done online. It's all versus, so there's no real... you can't really do it in single player. There is classic tower defense, which you do solo, but other than that, the mainstay of the game is online multiplayer. The tutorial... looks like it does work now, so I'll bring you guys through the tutorial. Last time I checked, it hadn't really worked all that well, and I can hopefully explain this game to you guys a little bit. It's pretty fun. It takes a little while to load, but other than that, I don't have too many objections to it, other than some optimization issues. Now, my computer's actually pretty decent for what it is, but it can actually start to cause my frame rate to tank. You know, I have a 580 Tri NVIDIA in this thing, so if it's making my system tank a bit, then there's some work that needs to be done there. I mean, hell, it made Total Biscuit's system start skipping frames, and his is even more ridiculous than mine is. Alright, so here we are. Now, I've never actually done this myself, so let's skip past this. Yeah, I've never actually done the tutorial, so this is slightly different from what I'm used to. Let's skip past all this. Alright, so with normal tower defenses, you can see the line in which the enemy units are going to be moving. So they're going to be coming down here, and I need to... Whoa! I'm starting to hop around here. What's going on? Optimization issues. Remember that this is still a beta. It is coming out somewhat soon, but this is not necessarily the final version. Alright, so I'm going to throw down arrow turret here, which does affect their actual movement. So, now a lot of tower defense games have this particular... Ooh. Are they sending anything my way? Yeah, they're sending a unit down. Now, a lot of tower defenses actually have this particular method of blocking off units and making a maze of towers for their enemies to go through. Come on, skip past all this. So basically the goal right now is to spend gold to build a nice maze for the enemies to have to force their way through. Otherwise, you just basically have a straight shot that's not very efficient all the way to your tower. Now, this game is slightly different in the fact that it's all hex-based rather than square-based. Most tower defenses are a series of squares rather than a bunch of hex-based zones like this. Now, the other aspect of this game is actually building and managing troops to send at the enemy location as well, rather than just defending your own. Now, this costs gold to actually use. The group that I've queued up here are the most basic unit in the game. I can only send so many of them on certain intervals. That little timer down at the bottom determines when I can send units, which it's currently at 00, so I can send them right now. The number above that is how much it'll cost me to send this particular wave. So we're going to throw it down now. Here we go. And they'll be walking right out of here. Now, as they're walking around through here, the enemy will try to defend against them. Now, as they defend against them, as they push further and further along the track, I gain what's called battle points. Battle points can be used to do various things, such as purchase new unit types. They can upgrade the units themselves with generic upgrades like improving their run speed, improving their health, giving them armor, giving them shields, all sorts of fun stuff. It can also make this bar bigger so I can throw more units at them. And it can also... Ooh, they're splitting up a little there. That's kind of interesting. And it can allow me to purchase miners. Miners are actually very important. I can talk today, I promise. They are what actually gives you gold over time. Now, as you can see, I've actually amassed quite a bit of battle points from that. The enemy home base can actually defend itself with these lovely Gatling guns. So can you, which can be upgraded, as well as the armor of the home base. So you have all that. So I have to think now, what would be good things to purchase? Well, I want to increase my gold rate so I can go in and purchase more miners, which cost both battle points and gold, so be wary of that. But all that does is increase the rate of gold acquirement, so it does not increase the amount of battle points you get. Gold allows you to purchase... Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh boy. See, it's kind of unfortunate that just clicking the button once will actually cause you to upgrade your turret, which really punishes you for misclicks. I kind of wish they hadn't done that. It's not that user-friendly. Alright. So, here we are. I think they just wanted me to send one. Unfortunately, because I didn't read that, I don't necessarily know what's going on in this tutorial anymore. Oh boy. Well, I can still show you some features. There is a wide variety of turrets, all with interesting themed names. This is all kind of steampunky. So, for instance, I can summon up this turret right here, the Cyclonic Momentum Decelerator, which is kind of a directional fan. It actually serves to slow down enemies in a direction, though if you aim it incorrectly, it could actually serve to speed up enemies. Yeah, not necessarily a good thing. Alright, I'm going to spend battle points now to upgrade my Mr. Moopsies. Oh my. Okay, so apparently that's what they wanted me to do. Alright, so I think this is going into full versus mode now, which is decent. I can actually start getting stuff done. Anyway, so from here I can upgrade all my individual units. I can also purchase new ones. For instance, the Zoombot sounds like a good idea. I'll grab the Zoombot. Zoombot is a faster unit. It takes up 2 squares on these particular things, so this particular wave will cost me 612, but it'll also get me a lot of battle points, hypothetically. So, it's a good idea. And these guys will zoom right along. They'll probably get past these first couple of towers because they're relatively quick. Anyway, upgrading. You can upgrade all your towers up to 3 times. It costs a variable amount of gold depending on the tower. So let's do that. Now, talking about strategy in this game, it's generally a good idea to just buy as many towers as you need. Don't build a gigantic maze right off the start, because it actually doesn't help you a whole lot. I could buy a bunch of crossbows and build a gigantic maze just using crossbows, but that isn't hugely useful because I actually need some turret variety as opposed to just having a bunch of the same turret. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so what I'm going to do right here is make it so that they have to Actually, can I even do that? No, it doesn't look like I can. There's no way to make them loop up into here. So this is all kind of useless real estate, unfortunately. That kind of stinks. Now, I might be able to build some long-range turrets that can get around that limitation. But you want to try to make maximum use of the area that you have. Let's remember to keep throwing units at the enemy base, otherwise we will not be gaining battle points, which are pretty important. This guy's getting around here. I'll not be having any of that. Nope. So let's block him off and do some more damage to him. Hopefully kill him. Yes. Yes, we can do that. And we seem to have broken the waypoint thing. Oh dear. That's not all that good now, is it? Well, let's just keep on building turrets and ignore that. Like I said, it's still a beta client, so what can you really do? Alright, so let's continue extending the maze a little bit. We do not want the enemy going up here as choice, so we'll do that. Now, all these turrets have their own unique effects. For instance, these cannon ones are really good against armor, and these electric ones are really good against shields. Whereas these arrows are just decent all-around turrets. I'm going to want to sell that one, because that's not a very efficient maze in that particular fashion. Alright. So getting a good mix is rather important. You also have some that improve the range and damage of all your other turrets. Those are pretty good to have. Want to keep on getting a decent mix of various turrets. I can't actually throw a turret down here because that would block off the ability for the enemy to actually get to your base in general, which is against the rules. Now, an interesting thing about mines is that they can also be upgraded themselves. They can be upgraded, I believe, 3 times, and each individual level gives you a new set of miners to purchase. So it's 6 miners in each individual mine and 3 levels of mine each time. So you end up getting a lot of gold by the end. It actually gets to a pretty insane level. Alright, so let's do this. Throw some stuff down here. Looks like their units are getting a little more hefty. I don't really like that. Let's get some extreme long range right here, because that's the only thing that this is really useful for now. Major long range frontliners. Sounds like a good idea to me. Let's upgrade our units again as well. Let's upgrade our Mr. Moopsies up a bit. And then get some general upgrades for the whole of the army. Like run speed. Let's give them some health boosting. And let's increase our battle awareness. Our battle awareness seems to increase the amount of battle points we get per wave, which is kind of a big deal. Alright, so let's throw these guys out and they can march off to their happy little deaths. Fun, fun. For the Empire and all that. What? I'm not British. I really shouldn't say such things like that. Probably piss somebody off. Oh boy. Anyway. This is probably not the most efficient build for this particular stage, but I never said I was all that great at this particular genre anyway. So, whatever. All these crazy long-range catapults. It takes a long time for that boulder to get anywhere, so that's kind of a problem. Might have to build more slowing capabilities in our particular group. What can I do? What can I do? I'm still not too sure about what's going on here because this seems completely broken. Ah, there we go. Okay, looks like we fixed it. There we are. No problem. Alright, so get some more cannons, keep on extending the maze. Make sure it looks all nice and pretty. Throw a fan down right here to slow them as they're coming across the bridge. Yeah, and generally, that's all there really is to it. There are some really interesting unit variety. Let's unlock a couple of more units so you can see. Like Sir Robert von Fretzelhausen. Yeah. This is a big guy with a big mallet. Perhaps I should send him... Yeah, you can actually see him right here. This big guy with a massive mallet. He's fun. He's a nice early unit to send at the enemy base because he causes all sorts of lovely trouble for somebody who isn't really prepared to deal with him. So what we really need to do right now is focus on our gold production because it's not all that high. Raise our minds a little bit. Yeah, economy management is exceedingly important in this. It's actually far more important than other tower defenses. Except for maybe Rock of the Ages, but that actually does something completely different with its resource management anyway. Not to mention the enemy team can actually destroy your resource management in that game, whereas they can't do that in this one. But it looks like we have a pretty hefty defense right now. He's going to have a hard time getting through that, so we're going to keep it as is, maybe upgrade them from time to time. Because I don't like how far he's actually getting in the maze. Let's like upgrade this again, so slow them down even further. Just to drive them crazy a little bit. And yeah. Upgrade our crossbows once more. They're now at level 3, so they can't be upgraded any further. But they do a lot of damage as a result. No problem with that. Let's see, what else can we upgrade here? Well, we can upgrade our Zoombots a little bit. Increase our battle awareness, because more battle points is not a bad thing. And let's give our units armor. That sounds like a good idea. And throw more Zoombots their way, because he seems to have trouble dealing with things that move really quickly. Now, as I have the full speed boost, these guys do move really damn quickly. Kind of hard for him to keep up with shooting at them. Wow, look at them go. Not a single one dead yet. They're probably going to get all the way there, which is going to net me a nice hefty amount of battle points. Nothing wrong with that. And in fact, let's just keep on doing that for right the moment. Keep on raising our number of battle points. They do some damage, not a whole lot. There are some units that are definitely better at dealing damage than these Zoombots. But that's not a big deal. Currently we're trying to get more resources, which is a little bit more important at this stage than actually getting more, damage here. If you have a good economy, you're really good late game. As soon as you get your... If you can outperform your opponent in getting bonuses and stuff like that, you'll be set. So we have a bunch of miners. These are pretty well upgraded right now. So we're getting a lot of gold. We also have a lot of battle points once more. So what are we going to do with that? Shields sounds good. So let's give them some shields. Fully upgrade the armor as well. So my units are pretty hefty now. And let's see what we can actually purchase for other units. Boris the Bellowing Bard. That sounds pretty good. And Baron von Pepto. Oh boy. Okay, so let's upgrade Baron von Pepto fully. Ah yes, the giant walking medicine bottles. These are pretty fun. They're expensive as heck, but they net you a lot of battle points when you send them out. And their secondary effect is really cool. Now what happens is when these guys actually die in the line, they make a massive healing area for your units to walk through. They're exceedingly useful. I love spamming them against opponents. sending a couple of these guys in a wave can actually secure you victory just by the very nature of them. I love them. They're carrying these massive bottles. Never noticed the name before, though. Baron von Pepto. It's pretty funny. This game has a very nice sense of humor. I like it quite a bit as a result of that. But yeah, I think you've got a general impression of the game already. I'd show you the online multiplayer in detail, but chances are that would just be one long video of me getting my butt kicked. So there's not that much of a point to it. Not to mention, it really starts to cause my system to tank later on. You can play this, I believe it's up to 6 players, 3 on each side, which gets really hectic, let me tell you, when everybody's spamming bots and throwing turrets down. God, it just gets confusing in a hurry. So these guys are all going to throw down their bottles right here. They actually don't do any damage to the enemy area, so you do have to contend with that if you want to send gigantic waves of these people. What it does do is saturate this with a bunch of healing auras, so the next group of units you send in here will last a long time against those Gatling turrets. Let's see if I can show you anything else before I close up here. Yes, I want to show you guys the equine subterfuge transport, because this particular unit actually isn't explained all that well. Now here it is. I picked it up already. Now you can spawn a bunch of these. They cost a lot, as you can see down in the corner there. But they're exceedingly useful because they're basically giant Trojan horses. You can actually throw units in there, which raises the costs of them, but what these now do is they're giant troop transports. They actually keep your units safe, tucked away inside of them, so you don't have to worry about them dying on the way to the enemy base. Once the troop transport is destroyed, it will release its deadly payload. So it's a really, really nice thing to have. Making sure you utilize these things in a decent fashion can determine the difference between victory and defeat. Let me tell you. If you're not using these the right way, you'll probably screw yourself over by the end of the match. Alright, so let's upgrade our mines a bit more. Getting these fully upgraded can get us the gold that we need to win. Not that the enemy seems to be throwing anything particularly nasty at us for some reason. I'm not too sure about this tutorial mode. It actually is incredibly easy. It doesn't seem to ramp the difficulty at you at all. So it doesn't really prepare you for how difficult this game actually really gets, which is insanely difficult. Alright, so we're kind of gonna have to wait a little bit, weather the storm, as it were, to gather as much money as possible to throw a really nasty wave at our opponents and finish them off permanently. Come on, come on. Let's get our money together. This is kind of the pain in the butt when your economy isn't working the way you want it to and you have to wait so long to actually get what you want to continue onward. It's kind of deliberate because it's a balancing act. It works relatively well, so I'm not sure how much I can complain about it. I'm kind of rambling at this point. I just kind of really want to show you these equine troop transports before I wrap up here. Anything else I can talk about in the meantime? This game comes out pretty soon. Its release date is August 14th, so keep an eye out for it on Steam. I believe the price point for it is going to be around 10 to 20 bucks. Probably more leaning towards 10 bucks. So there's not too much reason not to pick it up other than the fact that it just might not be the type of game for you, which I'd fully understand. I kind of have trouble getting into this kind of game myself, but I have been having fun with it regardless. So, hey, if you're looking for a tower defense that you can play competitively online against people, go right ahead. But you will probably get destroyed by people who play it day and night and know ridiculous rushing builds, so don't be surprised if you end up to run headbutting against some pretty hardcore players. Come on, come on. Give us all the money. Basically, the next wave I send against this guy is going to completely destroy him, so might as well make it a fantastic wave. Oh. It's getting really late at night, so sorry if I'm not all that talkative at the moment. It's been a really, really long week, as you guys might understand. Oh. Not sure what else to say, which is kind of getting really awkward, sitting here in front of my microphone. Ooh boy. Oh, by the way, I already mentioned that. Never mind. Another interesting thing. You can sell towers. You can get refunds for them. But you're limited as to how many times you can sell towers by these little bumps here. You can only sell a tower every minute or so. And you can save, kinda, I guess you'd call it, repeated sells up to a certain cap. So I'm going to sell a few towers here to gain some money back and see if that will net us what we need to send these nice, mighty equine transports down, filled with their deadly payload of soldiers. See, I've now run out of slots to sell towers. I probably should have sold some of my more expensive ones or more upgraded ones. Oh well. The cell number for that one seems to be a little broken. Hopefully they can fix all these things before the game actually comes out. This is the last day of the beta, so I really kind of had to rush to get this video out now. I was planning on offering a beta key, but oh well, that didn't turn out so well. Let's look into a couple of the upgrades. There are various upgrades in this, including bigger barracks, ready units, which reduces the time between launches that you can do, additional forces, I don't know what I'm saying anymore, forces, which randomly spawns additional units behind your wave, which is pretty useful. There's all sorts of useful little things, upgrading individual units to give them additional abilities, additional health, shielding, all that good stuff. Looks like we have the gold we need now, so let's send our massive troop transports and win the game here. So this is what they look like. They're pretty big and pretty intimidating. I'm not sure if the enemy will actually even destroy any of these. It'd be kind of funny if they did. But just in case they do, let's queue up some more troops for them to deal with. Oh, looks like they might destroy one. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see. They are slowly netting us some more battle points, so we can actually upgrade the equine transport a little bit more if we so choose, which we will. Alright, so as you can see, it gets destroyed, so it releases all the troops I had stored inside of it. And they're relatively safe at full health. Now once they get here, they will also freely release their troops. So we have now basically a full army arriving at their gates to cause havoc, which is always fun. This is the end of the game. We can summon up another group just for the heck of it. Really hefty shielded bots. So tell me what you guys think about this game in the comments below. I realize that this video might not be all that amazing because I'm exhausted, but I need to make some content for you guys because I've been very sparse on that lately. I'm really sorry about that, but you guys know how hellish this has been. It's just been a really crazy life lately. Oh well. So this has been a look at Tower Wars by Supervillain Studio, and this has been Lyiat with TheCyanFirefly. I will catch you guys next time with hopefully a little bit more coherent TLDR. See you all later.